It's ancient, it's an ancient myth. It's older than my dad. It's... How does the rest of that song go? Do you remember that?
Stiffer than him too, and the ancient Egyptians wore it.
That is a Spencer and Kyle original that we made when 10-year-old? 11 years?
It was something like that. Funny
was-
story. We just we were playing in Kyle's backyard. Our backyard, we kind of almost share yards pretty much, and we found a super old, like one of those 1950
It's what Babe
catcher's
Ruth
gloves. Yeah,
pitched into.
Yeah,
Right into that.
yeah. And we found it in Kyle's next door neighbor, whose name was Steven. Hence, we found it in Steven's yard. That was the the first sentence of the second verse.
Why did we sing it to Gilligan's Island? Is that what that is?
I mean, I couldn't tell you that, but I knew the song, and I'm pretty sure it was me. Not trying to be cocky or anything.
I definitely wrote the lyrics.
No, so what happened legit is we were in your parents' car like earlier that morning. We were in your parents' car earlier that morning, and I remember that song was getting played.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
And then I remember we were like, yeah, you should try and play that on guitar, because Kyle was good at guitar when he was
But I
like
never did,
10.
I don't think. I think we just started singing the song. I remember we recorded it to see how long it was, because we said it had to be at least 2 minutes to be a legitimate song.
Yeah, something like
That
that.
was ridiculous. Anyway, if that might be a recurring little song that we sing at the beginning, I like it.
Yep, I'm down. I am down.
Anyway, just a little introduction. My name's Kyle Norton. Co-host is...
My name's Spencer James Wiggins. Most people just call me Wiggy Small. Sometimes they call me Wiggly Tough as well. But go ahead and call me, Wiggy Smalls. That's what people call me.
Yeah, and for right now, this podcast is called No Explanations Needed, or No Explanation Needed, because we don't need to explain ourselves. We're just gonna go off.
Right. Which is it's a little bit contradictive of my life, because I always have to explain myself. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I'm pretty I seem to have to defend myself.
I don't think so. I think you do whatever you want.
Right. Yeah, that's why they call me Wiggly Tough. To be honest.
Okay, to start off though, we're NBA sports enthusiasts, whatever. We just love the game of sports.
Right. I'm pretty sure Undisputed would have a hard time not hiring us, to be honest.
I mean, I could beat Skip Bayless.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt. And Shannon,
he hates Dame Dalla. Who hates Dame Dalla, dude?
And if Shannon took any more selfies than he's already taken, his photo would
I think he loves himself more than anybody.
Right. But hey, at least he realizes
That's
LeBron
fine.
is the GOAT.
I mean, I think Skip Bayless will die on a hill to protect Michael Jordan, but
yeah,
I think he's his biggest fan, probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of Michael Jordan fans out there, including myself.
I mean, I respect him. Anyway, we're just gonna go over the playoff matchups that are coming up, since it's about to start, and the last one was decided because Portland just beat Memphis.
Yeah, Dame Dollar is going off, averaging 50, something like that, right? The last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane. I mean, yeah, Damian's always been him and Steph were the guys with unlimited range. I think honestly, when it comes to unlimited range, I think Dame is passing him. To be honest, I really do.
I don't think I've seen him miss a shot that is over 40 feet.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane. Now, I mean, Steph is the better just all around 3-point shooter. Am I not?
I agree. I think
but Damian is icy right now. And I'm willing to kind of say, if we're just going off of, I know Steph's been hurt and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Steph has bad ankles, always has had bad ankles. And I feel like he's past his prime probably. Do you see him ever winning another MVP? And they're not going to ever win another championship, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that. But
I don't see Steph winning another MVP.
No.
But if he gets a player that's better than him on his team, I think he would be amazing secondary player.
He's still... No,
not secondary.
Steph is still a
not
super
secondary player, but like the second best player on the team.
Yeah.
No. I think...
I mean, back to what we were saying, honestly, because because we could go far off with that one.
Yeah.
Damian for me, 25 and out is the best by far shooter in the NBA.
I think his percentage is actually better.
Yeah,
the deeper out he goes. It's
it
weird.
is. Now Steph might be better from half court now.
I think he practices from half court more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get into the playoffs. We'll start with the Eastern Conference because I don't care as much about the Eastern Conference. We'll just go through those quickly.
Does anyone?
I don't think so.
No one.
I don't think people in the Eastern Conference care as much.
Except the Knicks, they're gonna be good every year for the last 100 years.
So bad.
I've never seen the Knicks good.
Okay, let's start with Milwaukee, Orlando. That's pretty obviously just gonna be Milwaukee, right?
Right. Yeah, that'll be Milwaukee.
Can you name the starters on Orlando?
No.
I mean, Aaron Gordon and who else? I think they have a French player that's pretty good.
I think there's Wait, who are we talking about? All right, let's move on.
Exactly. It's Milwaukee. Giannis will probably sweep them by himself. Okay, Toronto, Brooklyn. What are we thinking there?
I mean, Toronto.
It's Toronto.
That's
easy.
obvious. Now, if Durant was playing with them, do you think they'd be the 1 seed in the East?
Yes,
I do too.
I do too. Yeah. I think Kyrie is overrated.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's almost to the point where Kyrie's not overrated anymore because everyone is realizing that now.
Yeah.
Let me kind of go and explain what I think about Kyrie. Kyrie is not like he could not be a number 1 player on any team and make that team good. There's no team in the league where if Kyrie Irving was the best player on the team would make the playoffs.
I think he proved that he wasn't as good as he said he was when he was on Boston.
Right, no doubt. But if Kyrie has a top 5 player in the league,
LeBron,
right.
Yeah.
He is one of the best complementary players in the league. And he is an all-star.
Yeah,
right?
I don't disagree
with
with
that.
He's
an all-star. But I'm not saying he's the best complementary player in the league, but one thing we know about Kyrie is he's icy. The big moment does not affect the guy. I mean, he hit the greatest shot in NBA Finals history. Second greatest shot. Ray Allen might have hit the greatest, but it's close.
Yeah, definitely close.
Yeah, it's definitely close, and it saved LeBron's legacy for competing with Michael Jordan as the GOAT.
And I don't even dislike Kyrie. I like Kyrie, but maybe not as what he talks about.
I liked Kyrie.
I like to watch him play. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he's beautiful. He's beautiful when it comes to one-on-one basketball.
I'm not gonna say I like when he talks. He says a lot of things.
We'll can talk about that.
We'll leave it there. Anyway, Toronto probably sweep.
Right.
Okay, Boston, Philadelphia. So Ben Simmons is out.
Oh yeah.
It's
probably
Boston.
Boston now. I think if Ben Simmons is in, I hate the guy, but if Ben Simmons is there, I think the 76ers have a really good shot of making the finals, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you realize with Kawhi on Toronto last year, Kawhi hit the luckiest shot in NBA history to beat them in Game 7.
Yeah, that was.
And Philadelphia kind of had the momentum at that point. If they go into overtime right there,
yeah, they win.
I think they were the luckiest shot in NBA history going into making the finals last year. And they played bad this year. Don't get me wrong, but they kind of picked it up a little bit, did they not?
No, I think so. I think as much as I don't like Ben Simmons, and it's a lot because of the Donovan Ben Simmons rivalry.
It's all that.
Yeah, it's all that.
He's pretty chill outside of that. Yeah, he's not super outspoken.
We're Jazz fans, so obviously we're a little bitter towards that. But I think Ben Simmons is a really good defensive player, incredible defensive player, and even without that, his jump shot, which is never going to be great. They said it was better this year, and I don't think it was. But without Ben Simmons, I think they lose.
Yeah, they do. Ben Simmons is really good. I mean, he's not as good as people thought he was going to be coming in, where he was like he beat Donovan, and he's about as good as Donovan.
Yeah.
No, Donovan's better. Donovan's better.
I would say Donovan's a better offensive player.
Yeah, right. I think he might be a better player for that 76ers team because that's what they need. Someone
They
like
just need
him.
a facilitator.
But Donovan's better.
Yeah.
It's
Ben Simmons is looking to pass 75% of the time.
right.
All right, so I'm saying Boston. You're saying Boston.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boston. Yeah. Boston.
Anything on Boston? Do you like Jason Tatum? Do you like Jaylen Brown?
Oh, I mean, who doesn't? Those guys are awesome. Jason Tatum is so fun to watch. Now.
I know. I love
Dude,
Jason Tatum.
When he came into the league, I was thinking he was gonna be a completely different player than he is now.
What do you think he was like?
Like, for one,
Just
now
post-up
he
player?
seems kind of like, he seems slim,
Yeah.
way more athletic than I thought. Before he came into the league, I thought he was going to be someone like a Kenyon Martin, honestly. I don't know why.
Kenyon Martin was good.
Yeah,
but,
Kenyon, but I just mean like, just kind of like a freak athlete. But like, dude, the guy has footwork. He's like shooting the ball like Kobe sometimes. He's a good player, man. I don't mean to compare him to Kobe, but like he's got some Kobe-esque moves.
Would you say it's more Boston is more Jason Tatum's team or
Yeah.
Kemba Walker's team?
Jason Tatum's dude, Kemba. I love Kemba. He's been underrated his whole entire career.
Well, he was on Charlotte, who just
Yeah, I mean, but you got to go back to just like people that have ice in their veins and go back to his college career. And that Big East conference that year was one of the greatest you'd ever seen, and he just wiped them out.
Yeah.
And they were what they were like
Eight
the
seed?
the last seed going into the Big
into
East
their-
tournament.
yes.
He just dominates everyone, hits all these game winners, goes on and wins the national championship. Like, the guy's just a freaking player, man.
Yeah, I kind of wanted the Jazz to try to pull in Kemba Walker.
Oh, I've always wanted that. I
But-
mean, there was talk about it a few
yeah,
years
and then we
ago.
got Conley, which which
Hey, Conley's great. Hey,
I love Conley.
dude, okay, the thing about Conley is no one's giving him a real shot. People don't understand, like, someone like Conley needs the ball in his hand. It's tough for someone like him who's always had the ball in their hand to come to a team
Where
where
Donovan's.
Donovan has the ball in his hand and Bogey, needs the ball in his hand, and Ingles is the same way. Ingles is a better player when he's got the ball in his hand a lot. And so we have a lot of guys that aren't Bogey's the only one that like doesn't necessarily need it in his hand at all times,
But he'll
to
hit the
score.
shot.
Right.
Yeah.
He's more, I mean,
He's
he
Klay
doesn't-
Thompson kind of.
he doesn't play like Klay Thompson, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
He doesn't need the ball in his hand to score the ball.
Yeah, we'll touch more on Jazz coming back. I miss Bogey a ton though.
Yep, we do.
Okay, so this is an interesting matchup. Is the Pacers versus the Heat?
Pacers versus the Heat. Yeah, this is probably one of the hardest ones to choose. Both teams are good.
Yeah, and TJ Warren, is he out?
I did. What you talking about the new Jeremy Lin? Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
Nah, honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and say Heat.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Heat, and I think they beat them. Actually, now that I think about it more, I think they beat them in 6.
Okay, so Oladipo, has he been playing well in the bubble? I didn't really notice anything.
He's just kind of still coming back, I think.
Yeah. I also say I think Jimmy Butler will will them to beating them in 6
Right, like
as well.
I
I think
think the one. Hey, you know what? Jimmy stopping T.J. Warren there just kind of was a testament to say, yeah, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Just based off of Jimmy Butler being, doing what he says he's gonna do.
He does
the
that a lot.
opposite of Paul George.
Yeah.
Playoff Paul. Jazz, let's go, baby.
playoff ball, dude. Playoff B.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I say Miami in 6 too. That sounds reasonable to me. All right, now to the West. This is what I want to talk about. So Portland snuck in and stole the 8th seed from Memphis, which is dope.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, obviously the Lakers beat Portland, right? But I'm going to go ahead and say that Portland, if they got like the 6th seed, or maybe probably not the 7th because the Clippers. But if they got the 6th or 5th, I think they win the series right now. They're playing well, man.
I think so too. And
Well,
they got
Damian's
they got
playing well.
Nurkic back, which is amazing.
Yeah. That's
And-
also that's also a decently big help.
Yeah. So they got their best center back, and they don't have to play Whiteside as much, which I don't dislike Hassan Whiteside, but
he's not the best.
he was good on Miami. Remember?
Yeah, for like 30 minutes. He was all talk for he was, he got a lot of blocks.
Yeah.
He got a lot of rebounds, but he was never really that good in my opinion.
Okay, so over or under 1 game? Do you think it's a sweep, or Portland gets 1 or 2 games?
I think I think they probably win 1 just cuz, LeBron doesn't really try when he knows he's going to win the series until he has to try
Unless
at the
he's in
start.
dire need of a win.
Right. And when I say he doesn't try, he still scores 35 points and 10 rebounds and 10 assists in the playoffs. But
I think LeBron this playoffs will average over 12 assists a game.
yeah, that's
Or maybe
possible. It's going to
11.
be close to that. I think he'll do kind of what he's done in the last few years, where it's the first couple series he'll play well, but he won't need to. And then once it comes to the conference finals, and if they make it to the championship, I think he's going like 36-11-9. Like, honestly,
Yeah,
in
I
those
don't doubt
series.
that at all.
He's been doing that the last couple.
He surprised me. I never said he wasn't the greatest player, but he surprised me this season before the whole
he
outbreak
came
of
out
COVID.
fiery. He came out fiery
He
this
was
year.
killing
I mean,
everybody, dude.
I mean, if you want to go into it right now, what do you think? You think he's the MVP?
I
This
think
year?
so.
Do you think
I would give him
Do you
the
think he
MVP.
wins it, or do you think he is personally the MVP?
I personally think he is the MVP.
right.
So
So who do you think wins it? I mean, it's between 3 people. So
it's between Giannis,
Well-
LeBron, and Harden.
is it? Yeah, it's either Harden or Kawhi. I can't remember.
I think it's Harden.
Right.
I think LeBron deserves it because last year wasn't great, obviously. And they didn't even make the playoffs, even though it's because he was injured for a lot of games. I think he came out and proved that he's still the best player. And I think he deserves the MVP. But
Definitely.
know.
So, I mean, in the last 10 years, I think LeBron has deserved maybe six MVPs
yeah,
in just the last 10 years.
I agree.
Like, I'll go ahead and say I think Kevin Durant deserves that one he got. Steph definitely deserves 1, maybe 2 of the ones that he got. That, I mean, the unanimous, like, that was obviously Steph Curry's year to win MVP. Last year, LeBron obviously wouldn't have won it.
Yeah, because
But, like, pretty much every other year, LeBron should have won the MVP.
yeah, and I don't disagree with that at all.
I mean,
And he's gonna win. I think they may give it to Harden.
this year?
Yeah, or maybe
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
so. I
Do
don't
you think
think
they'll give it to Giannis again? I don't think they will.
No, I think they give it to LeBron.
Yeah, they will give it to LeBron.
But it's close. And maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
yeah,
Maybe it is Giannis.
but Harden.
It's just if you think of like Giannis, I guess we're gonna go into top 10 later on.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah, we don't need to talk
Yeah,
about that
we'll
yet.
get back into that. We'll go through the Western Conference, but obviously LA is going to win that first one. So LA, Dallas. Do you think Luka balls out and beats LA?
No, stop it, dude. Luka is amazing.
Yeah.
Luka is going to be. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He'll probably win 3 MVPs.
Yeah, I think
And
once
he-
LeBron.
and he might win a couple championships, depending on who they can get. But I mean, I think people would like to go play for Mark Cuban. Like maybe not.
I don't.
I don't know, but people would like to go play with Luka.
I think
that's
I think
for sure.
everybody wants to play with Luka.
Right, like look at the guy. He's
Yeah.
fun. He's amazing. He's young. He's interesting. He's got like
He doesn't
some
seem
Larry
like-
Bird style to him.
He doesn't seem like a douche.
No,
He
yeah,
seems super cool.
yeah. No, he's. Dude, Luka is a Hall of Famer. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. I think he's a top 20 player ever when he gets there. I'm not saying he is now,
Yeah.
but I think he ends up being a top 20 player of all time. I really do.
I do too.
I mean, and if he wins 3 MVPs, he'll probably be top 15.
Do you think the combination of Luka Porzingis?
Nah,
good?
Porzingis is just Porzingis. Once he got hurt, like I just
he's
don't.
had a few good games coming back.
Yeah.
But I don't know
he's
if he
not
can
a
be
bad
consistent
player. He's a
enough.
good player. He could still possibly make a few All-Star games or something, but I don't think he's as special as people thought he was going to be before he got hurt.
Yeah, I don't think he is either. I think he has a special set of skills that are different from anybody in the NBA. And if he could have developed those a little bit better, I think he could have been amazing.
Right.
Because he's 7'3". His stroke was really great. He was good around the basket, but yeah, you're right. After the injury and then leaving New York, he just doesn't seem
right. No,
the same.
Honestly, I think they get swept. I think Dallas.
They get
swept. Yeah.
I could see that. I could see it. Even if Luka does score 40 points a game.
Do you remember who he's playing against?
Yeah, Kawhi and Kawhi. I mean,
what?
I
Paul George,
but I don't care about Paul George.
I mean,
I really don't.
I don't care about him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was part of that team I hated.
Yeah,
but
I just think
Paul George is a good player, man.
Paul George isn't the factor to me. It's more the role players on LA that are amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean they've just
amazing.
got a full good team.
Yeah,
I mean no one needs to tell me that Doc Rivers is great because he's not. I don't care what anyone says. That guy has one championship with that Celtics team. Like, come on, he has one championship with them and couldn't even get out of the first round with that Clippers team, dude. That guy's not a good coach. Don't tell me that guy's a good coach. Yeah, don't tell me that guy's a good coach. Everyone thinks he's such a good coach. It's like, dude, it's like saying actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm just not going to say what I was going to say.
Okay.
Just not going to say what I was going to say.
That's fine. I don't love Doc Rivers either. I don't think I hate him as much as you do. I don't know.
And I hate his voice too. I don't mind Austin.
Austin Rivers, he's doing great on Houston. But yeah, I think Dallas may sneak a game or two. Nah. I don't know if they get swept.
Nah, they're going to get swept.
But if they do, Luka will ball out still, and I think it's the supporting players.
Right, yeah, but
down.
he's young, man, and he's playing against way too good of a team. You send him to the East, he could make some pushes.
That's true.
But I mean, he's young, and he's amazing, but he's young, and he does not have enough players around him to beat a Clippers team. Like maybe they get one, but I'm gonna go ahead and say sweep.
Okay. That's fair. All right, next one. Denver and our Utah Jazz.
Yeah, I think the Jazz probably win. Yeah, they'll probably sweep them each game by 60.
I hope so. That'd be so sick. Jokic actually said he's never had an easy game against the Jazz.
Right. No, Jokic doesn't. I think we beat the Nuggets in 7.
I think so too. I think the Jazz win this.
I think we beat them in 7.
I'm trying not to be a homer for the Jazz, but I legitimately think that the Jazz will beat Denver.
I do too. Because I think Denver struggles against the Jazz. You just brought it up. Jokic struggles against the Jazz. Everyone knows. I mean, this is Donovan's 3rd year.
Yeah.
Donovan was so good his first year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he struggled at the start last year, but he picked it up and we didn't have as great of a run.
We couldn't do it against Houston.
We never can, and I hope we never have to play against Houston in the playoffs again because they're so hard for us to beat.
We just don't know how to guard the 3-point line against them. They drain so many 3-pointers against the Jazz. It's nuts. Anyway, I think the key is contain Jamal Murray.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I really do agree with that. I think Jamal Murray is probably, if not the most underrated player in the league, he's one of them.
Yeah, and he's the killer against us.
He is.
So
he's a great player. He can score against anyone. He's got the moves. He's got the mid range. He can shoot the 3. He can drive, and he's pretty icy. He hits big shots. I mean.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
The game that the Jazz and Denver just played, Donovan and him went back and forth, and he came out the better. But I don't even believe that. I honestly think we tossed that game.
I think
I mean, we
wanted
did
to
2
play them.
overtimes, but yeah.
Yeah, but we were beating them by 18, 20 points.
Yeah, that's true, and let him come back.
Yeah, I can't
That was
remember
lame.
what the exact, but we were smoking them.
Yeah, totally. All right, we'll move on to Houston real quick. Houston, Oklahoma City. This will be quite the matchup, I think.
Yeah,
Because Chris Paul's
great. It's going to be a matchup, but I honestly think that I think most of the games are close. There might be a couple blowouts.
Yeah.
But I think Houston either beats them 4-2 or 4-1.
Okay.
I really do.
So I think that's true just because Oklahoma City has a lot of young players.
Right.
And
But they're going to be good games.
Yeah.
They're going to be good games. I think it's going to kind of be one of those things where maybe OKC is beating them at half or whatever, but then Harden comes out and just lights it up. And another one of the most underrated players in the league is Eric Gordon, man, especially against the Jazz. I'll tell you, I hate him. I hate him.
He makes 10 3-pointers against the Jazz every time they play.
Right.
It's so annoying because we guard Harden so hard.
Yeah, and you know what? We struggled against Harden the first 2 games last year, and then we figured him out, and he couldn't score against us.
Yeah.
But of course, Eric Gordon comes in, and not just Eric Gordon, freaking PJ Tucker hitting every quarter three.
PJ Tucker.
And
what is
and
happening?
Just bullying our guys around.
Yeah. When he was it like Jay Crowder that just could not contain PJ Tucker? Is that
I
what
think
it was last year?
I think it was everyone.
Or was it just everybody? Well, what is PJ Tucker's like 6'6" and he was playing center? What is happening?
Yeah.
It was so weird. Anyway, PJ Tucker and Aaron Gordon.
It's hard for us to,
Eric Gordon. Sorry.
It's hard for us to play against them. They're just a bad matchup for us, and they just made it even worse with Westbrook.
Yeah. So Houston,
4-1, 4-2.
4-2. Yeah.
I think probably 4-2.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wish Chris Paul would go a little bit further in the playoffs, but
you like Chris Paul now.
I
mean, I
didn't,
thought as a Jazz fan,
because
with the
of
Darren Williams,
Darren
Chris
Williams.
Paul thing, I didn't know anyone could ever like Chris Paul.
Well, I respect him now. I always liked
He's a great
Darren
player.
Williams better because obviously he was Jazz.
He's a great player. He's one of the best point guards ever. But
Yeah, but I don't know what happened to Darren. Was it just Jerry Sloan that made him good?
no, Darren was really good. I think he kind of just lost interest. I think he was super fiery at the start of his career. And then I think the toll of just not winning championships sometimes can get to people.
Yeah,
I think that happened to Darren, to be honest. I
They
think
got
he
close.
wanted out. Yeah, I think he wanted out of Utah. And it was kind of like the Kyrie Irving thing where he thought he was going to be able to go, it was going to be easier on another team. The grass is greener on the other side type of thing. He got somewhere else. I can't even remember where
he went to the Nets.
Yeah, he went to, okay, yeah.
Like Kyrie.
Any team in New York or New Jersey or wherever they were then, they're not. It's not the place to go.
Why are they so bad? Like, everyone loves basketball there. That's huge for them, right? And they want the Knicks to be good always. They just can't do it. What's happening?
It's because no player wants to go there.
I mean, Kyrie wanted to. Kevin Durant wanted to for some
Yeah,
reason.
but the thing is Kevin Durant's hurt, and that was also
Then they
not
could
the
offer him
Knicks.
the
They're
most
the
money.
Nets.
The
That's a
Nets.
completely
Yeah.
different team, but it's still New York. So,
Yeah, that's true. Well,
they're gonna be good though. When Kevin Durant is back, that team is gonna be good.
yeah, they will. Well, because they have Kyrie at point guard, and then Kevin's the best player on the team.
Yeah, Kevin. I mean, the crazy thing about Kevin is, he's coming off of a torn Achilles. Everyone says that's impossible to come back on type of thing, but people don't realize Kevin Durant is one of the greatest shooters of all time.
And he's 7 feet tall.
And he's 7 feet tall. And he doesn't really he's a good dribbler and he's good at driving and stuff like that. But he doesn't necessarily need to do that to be really good. The guy pulls up from 30 feet out and makes it, man.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, I used to not
He's
like...
a top 10 player of all time.
Yeah. And I used to
me.
hate on Kevin a lot, but that's probably just because he
Probably 10.
dominated the Jazz all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that wraps up the playoff series for right now. I'm sure we'll be talking about that a ton, but let's go on to our top 10 players in the NBA right now, discounting injuries, so you can count Steph and you can count Durant. Let's start from 10. Actually,
and you're not talking about like career-wise. We're talking about right now.
if they were healthy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Okay, honorable mentions right now.
This is yours?
Yeah, right. That could be 10 interchangeably. I don't know, just outside. I say my 3 honorable mentions are Jokic, Siakam, and Westbrook. What are your 3?
So I'm gonna go ahead and say Jimmy Butler, and he was tough not to put in. Honestly, I think Jimmy's really good. He also fights with everybody in the world. He doesn't need to be. So Siakam as well, and then Jokic. Yeah. So do we have the same there?
Besides Westbrook, you put Westbrook in, and I put Jimmy Butler in my top 10.
Right. I hate putting Westbrook in. I hate the guy, but
so why? I know
he's a
it
top
was
10
hard
player.
for you to include Jokic in there. You just don't like Jokic's game.
I don't think he's as good as people think he is. I mean, I think it might be just watching how he can't score against Gobert. I mean, and even if he does, he has a hard time.
He just has the weirdest like turnaround jumpers that just look so awkward, but somehow they always go in.
He's good. He's just not as good as people think.
Yeah, I agree. And Siakam, he's working his way up.
Yeah, Siakam's good. I mean, it's just the NBA is really good right now. It's hard to make the top 10.
Yeah. And I just think that Siakam decided he was going to take over after Kawhi left.
Yeah.
He was already becoming the star, but
hear me out. Like if I didn't look at the stats, I would have put Siakam in the top 10.
Yeah.
But I looked at the stats. He's got 22 points. He's a great player. He's like 22 and 3 or 4 with assists.
Yeah.
And I just how do you put that above Westbrook with, his stats?
I think maybe Siakam's a little more clutch. Is that what happens? Because I feel like his name comes up in
except for the year that Westbrook won the MVP.
Yeah.
Dude, Westbrook hit so many clutch shots that year.
Yeah,
so
that's
many.
True.
I hate saying it.
I didn't include Westbrook
Baby
just
Grinch,
because he's Baby Grinch. He annoys the crap out, and that shouldn't come into play. I understand. He's amazing. He averages a triple-double. He's great. He's athletic. His shooting's not the greatest, but he's a playmaker.
It's worse than that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a terrible shooter.
And that's probably why I left him out. Is he's not a good shooter at all.
No, but he's one of the hardest players to stop going to the basket. And you know what? The Jazz struggle mightily against Westbrook.
Yeah.
And Chris Paul.
Yeah. There's just certain players the Jazz just can't.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because we play them every year in the playoffs, one of those two, but
I know. I'm so glad we're not playing OKC or Houston.
Right? And I think that was the point. That's why I was saying we threw those games is we played good against the Nuggets. Hopefully Jamal Murray breaks his leg. But we don't against the other two teams.
We don't play good against OKC.
No. I mean, we beat them.
Yeah.
We beat them.
That one year when it was Paul George and Westbrook.
Yeah, wait, you play off Paul? Play off whatever?
P?
Yeah, play off P? Yeah.
He was way good. I mean, Joe Ingles.
Yeah, I think he scored, 2 points in one of those games?
Dude.
The last game, I think.
They should have almost been swept.
Right.
Remember they came back from like 30 points down at half?
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't know about 30, but yeah.
It was close to 30. It was like 27 or something. Anyway.
Yep, we fell apart that game.
That was dumb. Anyway, we still won the series. Okay, so let's start. Number 10, I put Jimmy Butler, you put Westbrook. You kind of talked about Westbrook already, and you think he's deserving just because he's a freak athlete. And
yeah, I mean, that's...
And I think most people would leave Jimmy Butler off the top 10. I don't think people like Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I mean he has trouble with teammates. He wants to leave all the time. Doesn't seem like he's having trouble where he is now, but he just seems a little too serious. Kind of like he's Kobe, except for everyone respected Kobe. I don't know if everyone respects Jimmy Butler.
They don't, and I think you're spot on with that. I think he thinks he's Kobe, and he's not as good as Kobe, and he doesn't command the respect like Kobe.
Right.
And I think he went to the Heat because he wanted to be by far the best player on the team.
Yeah. I mean, that's the difference between Kobe and him is, Kobe sent the other guys leaving, not himself.
Yeah.
He sent Shaq leaving. He went to the office and told him, hey, get Shaq out of here or I'm gone. And people realized that he's the one who needed to stay.
Yeah.
You know, Shaq was getting out of shape and
Yeah.
whatnot. And I mean, Kobe was on the up, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Jimmy, like, no team just thinks like, hey, if I have Jimmy, we're gonna win it, right? No, I don't think there's any team that would think anything like that.
I think he's a tough player. He plays hard. He can back up what he says a lot of the time, but
Right.
I don't think he's the greatest teammate.
Nah, I mean, yeah, and I don't know why we're even comparing Kobe and him.
No, we're not. I'm just saying
it's just they're both like,
mentality
they
is
were
trying.
both really, 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 you know, hardworking and maybe sometimes tough to get along with.
Yeah.
I think Kobe more earlier on in his career than later on. I think Kobe is just super, super independent and didn't feel like he needed, not necessarily didn't feel like he needed help from other people, but he didn't ask for it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no comparison. It's just a weak comparison that you can kind of draw from. But
Right.
anyway, go to number 9. I put Steph.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Steph way higher than that, brother. But yeah,
You put
I
AD.
put 80. I think 80 is great. I think 80 proved that he's a top 10 player this year. I probably wouldn't have put him in last year, but that's because 80's played where he's played.
Dude, some people put AD as number 3.
Yeah, and well, they did a few years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember. Like, I want to say the Trailblazers were either like, were they the 1 seed? And AD, after DeMarcus Cousins got hurt, AD came and swept.
Oh,
Damian.
yeah. I don't think they were number 1.
They were either
They were
1 or 2. Or
I think they were 2.
It was something like
Yeah.
that. And he just comes out and sweeps those guys. That's kind of when I saw, like, wow, he's good, man.
Yeah.
He is good.
He's enormous. He's got a great shot, and he's a great defender. And I think that's the difference between him and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's the better shooter and scorer, but AD has the defense too.
Hey, Kevin Durant's a good defender too.
Yeah.
He just only uses it like when he sees a championship in front of him. Right?
I'm not saying Kevin's not.
He's a really good defender.
I'm just saying AD always is in the talks for defensive player of the year.
Oh yeah, and I think they play completely different. Like,
Yeah.
the defensive player of the year is going to be either a center or someone like Kawhi, who is just a lockdown one-on-one defender. Or I don't know if did Kobe ever win a defensive player? He should have if he didn't. But like, you know, Michael,
yeah.
right? Big hands, super.
Which
like,
he plays defense like Kawhi.
Right, yeah,
Or
no,
he
they play
did.
very similar.
Yeah, Kawhi plays
Same
defense
as,
like
you know,
Michael.
Jimmy. That's why we want to put Jimmy, like, that's why we kind of
Yeah.
made a comparison. Jimmy's a really good defender.
He can he shut down TJ Warren.
Yeah.
TJ Warren thought he was the top of the world.
It's just the athletic people that are massive, that are good at defense, right?
Exactly. Yep. So let's move on to 8. We both put Luka.
Right. And Luka in 2 years from now is going to be top 3.
I think so.
Yeah. Luka, the only reason I put him as 8 is, I mean, it's a second year, and
Which is nuts.
right, and we're going off a body of work and what they are right now. But Luka's better than most of the people in front of him.
I think Luka's so fun to
in the
watch,
future.
too.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
And yeah, so he's only gonna go up, and he's already.
I think everyone sees that. Like, Luka is. What can't he do?
He does everything.
I mean,
is his defense great?
Nah, it's not great,
Yeah.
but
Maybe that's where he can improve. But
yeah, that can improve a little bit. It's not great defense. I think he's got little quick hands.
Yeah.
So he can, you know, snag the ball, and he looks like he's not super in shape or whatever, but he's so quick. He's so quick for
super
how
quick.
big he is. And he uses his body so well, and he's got such a soft touch, and he's just the new Larry Bird, and he's so cool. I love him.
Yeah, I do love Luka.
Yeah, I think everyone does.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go on 7. We both put Dame.
Yeah.
Dame Dollar.
I mean, if you're going off the last like, not even just the last like little bit, but like even before bubble, I think if you just go off the last like half of the year, Damian Lillard might be top 5, might be top 3.
He might be type 3. I think
But you gotta remember,
He's the best point
Durant
guard
was
right
hurt.
now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you're saying like to put him in front of Steph. That's tough to do.
Yeah. I
That's
put him in front of
really
Steph.
tough to. That's
And maybe it's the injury talking in my subconscious that I put Damian in front of Steph. Because Steph is obviously, when he was a couple years ago, he was by far the best
how old
point guard.
Steph? 30, 31? 30.
He's got to be 30 or early, like 31, 32.
Yeah.
Can't be that old.
He's in his 30s.
I think they're around the same age, aren't they?
Hey Siri, how old's Steph? Let's see. Well, that's not finding it, and it's taking too much time.
Yeah, so I think Damian right now is better than Steph. You have Steph a little bit higher. But at 6, you put Giannis.
Yeah,
and I put AD.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to have a hard time with me saying Giannis right there. But listen, I just think he's overrated. I think he's amazing. I think he's probably number 2 in the regular season, maybe number 1. Nah, LeBron's still number 1. He just doesn't have to try all the games.
Yeah.
But once the playoff comes, man, the guy can't shoot. He's definitely stoppable. I don't see him beating any. And I don't care. Hey, people don't realize how good his teammates are.
Yeah.
He's got really good teammates, and I just don't see them beating any of the top 3 teams in the West, even with, Giannis. And that's why I just can't put him in front of these guys. That's why he's just never done it for me, man. He's got a better team than that Raptors team had, in my opinion, with Kawhi last year. He's got a better team than, the 76ers had.
Yeah.
I think if you add him and he just doesn't beat these guys, he's too one-dimensional offensively. He either charges he's unstoppable.
He has no jump shot. He takes threes every once in a while.
But it's not even just a jump shot. He doesn't really have moves unless it's a layup or a dunk.
He has a layup and a charging dunk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's stoppable. If he's got a really... Dude, you're telling me he's doing that against Anthony Davis, question mark?
I'm going to have to agree with you. You were actually talking me down. I have him way up there. I have him at number 2. And
okay, I would say 90% of the world has him as number 2, which is mind-boggling to hear someone put him over LeBron, Kawhi, Durant.
Well, it's just because they gave him the nickname, the Greek Freak, and he does incredible dunks, and he does look like a freak when he's playing.
Well, he is, he's the second best defender in the league. Now, actually, third best defender in the league. Rudy's number 1, and it's not even close. I don't care what anyone says about that. People need, everyone in the league agrees with that too. It's just
they don't want to give it to him. Yeah, they don't want to give it to him.
It's just the public. They do give it to him. He's won 2 in a row.
I know.
He might win a third.
You think he's going to give it to him for the third? I think he deserves a third.
Right. But and it's obviously Kawhi is number 2. He's definitely better than Giannis, in my opinion. But Giannis is probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is up there too, though. Yeah,
Anthony Davis, and I think Anthony Davis and Giannis's defensive game are
Paul George is up there on defense, but he's an idiot and I hate him. So,
and he harasses Dame. Don't harass Dame ever again.
That's what I'm saying, man. He harasses the Jazz, and Damian,
and then Damian gets mad, and he's just gonna beat you.
And he just literally just slides an icicle in his veins.
And then you have to put respect on his name.
Yeah. You put that respect on his name.
Okay, number 5. We both got Harden.
Right. Yeah, I put Harden in front of Giannis because Harden, once again, can score in any situation against anyone, no matter what. There's not a defender in the league that can guard Harden.
Yeah, Harden's game is so unique and aggravating to watch for the other team.
Well, the thing is the best defenders in the league are obviously centers typically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have the Kawhis, but Harden doesn't need a drive.
No.
Because Harden's a great 3-point shooter too. He's got the best step back shot ever behind maybe Kobe
he's taking that step
Jordan.
back, and there's no way to stop it. He does that little breakdown dribble.
Right.
It looks like he's doing the playground.
And then, you know what? Harden is so good when he drives to the basket, at knowing if he needs to either, take it himself or pass it off.
Yes.
He's so good at hitting, and he requires so much attention, and that's why these people like Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker, who sucks at everything at basketball, but hits that corner three every single time he shoots it.
I was actually surprised they got rid of Clint Capella because he was their only lob guy. And
he shredded us in the playoffs that year. And you know what? He's probably the best matchup when it comes to defending Donovan I've seen, man.
Yeah,
because he's the best guard. He's the best center guarding guards in the league, I'd say, probably.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean,
because he's so quick on his feet, and Donovan struggled. And you know what? Donovan was really young that year, and he didn't really he hadn't evolved his game to the point where it was just either a three or a layup. He didn't have the short mid range that he has now with his teardrops, and just his. I mean, Donovan's a great jump shooter now.
Yeah.
He's not a great 3-point shooter. He's an okay 3-point shooter.
He's getting better
but
this
he's
year,
got a really good jump shot
especially in the bubble, coming off screens, his threes were amazing.
Yeah, and he couldn't do that year he played Capella, so maybe it switches, but Capella played good defense on Donovan.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that. Okay, number 4, I put Durant. You got Steph.
Yeah, I think that's blasphemous to put Durant,
Okay, now thinking about it, you convinced me. Giannis should not be ahead of Durant.
Yeah. Okay. Hear me out here, man. I have never been really a Durant fan just based off of his
childishness.
Yeah. But hey, I've kind of grown a little bit now that he's not on that Warriors team that I hated so much, more than maybe any team ever until that Thunder team. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Kevin Durant in the last two not the last finals, but the two finals before that, maybe proved to me that he is one of the clutchest players in the league. He's unstoppable in every single way, and he's just so good at every single aspect of basketball. And he was probably as good as LeBron in those two finals, maybe better. In the finals.
I might have to switch.
He was unstoppable.
I might have to switch Durant to number 2 on my list because he honestly, besides LeBron, is the best player in every aspect of the game.
In every single aspect.
And shooting is amazing.
And I'm going to go ahead and say he's probably the greatest scorer of all time.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't, I think he's probably a better scorer than Jordan.
Dude? Yeah. He's amazing around the rim. He hits threes from all over. His mid-range is unstoppable because he's 7 feet tall.
He's so skinny, but it doesn't matter. He dunks on people. He plays strong even though he's skinny. Yeah. He's so good at using his body.
Yeah, he's undeniable. I wish he would have won a championship with the Thunder.
Yeah, back when Westbrook wasn't as big of an idiot as he is now.
I really wish they would have won one together.
Yeah, but they lost a 3-1 lead. They lost a 3-1 lead, bro. And that's when I was like, I don't know if Durant is that good.
Yeah.
And then I realized it was Westbrook, probably.
People were questioning him after that, for sure.
They were.
And then after he made the move, it was just like, oh, what are you doing? You go to the team that beat. But whatever.
But then,
did what he did.
Hey, once you switch to a team and switch to a unanimous MVP's team and prove that you're the best player on the team and it's not close.
Yeah.
And I had Steph as 4.
Yeah. That team was incredible.
Right. I have Steph as the 4th best player in the league because I don't want to talk down on Steph. Steph deserved those MVPs, man.
Would you say that Golden State Warriors team with Durant
is the best team ever?
The best team ever.
It is.
It's not. The Bulls are not better.
No, bro. That Bull. Yeah, guys. I mean, we're pretty positive in this world that we go through. What's that word? Where things get better all the time. Why can I not think of it? It's just like evolution.
Oh,
man.
evolution. Yeah.
Evolution's a thing. Like maybe the Bulls team were better for their time if you're basing it off time, kind of like the Wilt Chamberlain thing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Wilt's not gonna do what he did in his generation against these guys, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but I mean, if you took that team and played the Warriors, they sweep that Bulls team. Sorry, I don't care what anyone says.
I agree. The shooting's just unstoppable.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares about the defense? They're going to shoot the lights out.
They're unstoppable. And the reason Steph was so good is once Steph hit a 3, like the tone of the game changed so
it
much
rolled. They scored
because of like how much the crowd loved him
Yeah.
and how much, just he just had
Yeah.
it, man. Once he hit a shot, he couldn't miss.
That's the thing.
And neither could Clay.
He splashes and then he goes and makes one back to back, and then Clay hits
and then
one.
Draymond hits
and then,
two.
And then,
And then
Draymond's the worst 3-point shooter now, but he was amazing when Steph was on.
Yeah, dude, it's hard not to be amazing when the crowd is how
Yeah.
they were when
They just
Steph
got
was hitting
rolling,
those.
dude.
Yeah,
It was nuts.
They rolled. They rolled.
Okay, so number 3, we both have Kawhi, which we talked about Kawhi a lot.
Yeah,
He's
Kawhi's interchangeable with Durant. I would probably say if Kawhi wins the championship this year, he'll prove to me like a lot. Just because, yeah, he won it with Toronto. He does have one with the Spurs, but and I know Duncan was on the downfall and stuff when he did win that one, and he was probably the best in that finals. I mean, he won the finals MVP, but and when I say he, Kawhi won the finals MVP, but he still had Pop. He still had, Ginobili, Tony Parker. I mean, he had what's his name that's on the Lakers now, the 3-point shooter, Danny Green, who
Green.
didn't miss a shot in that finals. I want to say.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb though and say Kevin Durant's healthy that whole series. The Golden State Warriors win 4-2.
Oh, last year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they win that easy. I mean,
Who was the runner? Who was in the Western Conference Finals against Golden State that year?
the Rockets.
Was it the Rockets?
Yeah.
I say Rockets beat them.
They would have.
Raptors.
Yeah, they would have.
So I just don't.
But in this Raptors team is really good for an East team, like really good for an East team. But once again, the Raptors only made it because Kawhi got really lucky on some bounces. That shot was short, man. It landed on the bottom of the rim and somehow the magnet that Bugs Bunny has on Space Jam where it brings Jordan. Yeah, that's what it
happened.
looked like to me.
It was
That
the weirdest
shot should
looking
not
shot.
have gone in.
It was the weirdest. It hit the front of the rim.
Right.
Who hits the front of the rim and bounces in?
It hit the under part of the rim. I'm telling you.
Some weird spin on that ball.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. We talked about Giannis and Durant. So let's just go to number 1, which is LeBron. I think it's just still undeniable that he is the greatest player.
Yeah, I
in the game.
mean, yeah, LeBron's the best player. It's not close. LeBron's the best player of all time. He's doing it at 36 right now, maybe 37.
And I think he's the
36?
best shooter he's ever been. Right now.
Yeah,
it's weird.
No, he's doing what Dame's doing sometimes.
Yeah.
He's turning.
It's
right
just
over.
he has that factor that's like, if they need him, he will make the shots. He'll do whatever it takes.
Right.
He can.
And I mean, it's funny. People are like, well, LeBron's not clutch. And I just think, like, you're insane.
What are you talking about?
LeBron's
He's
as
not
clutch as
clutch.
they come,
I
man.
know.
The thing they don't understand is, like, just because LeBron doesn't hit a 3 in a clutch situation or whatever, LeBron's not a 3-point shooter.
No.
Right?
That's not his
That
game,
doesn't
but he'll make
change-
'em.
Yeah, he still makes them, but it's like, yeah, if Steph has a 3 or LeBron has a 3, the percentage is going to be higher with Steph.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him more clutch.
Yeah.
It makes, like if LeBron gets the ball with 10 feet out, LeBron's scoring. You know?
Yeah.
You know,
Who's gonna bully LeBron?
You know
Nobody.
what the funniest thing I've ever seen with LeBron was? Do you remember that game where I can't remember who they're playing? I can't remember. But LeBron there's 2 seconds left. LeBron, has a wide open layup, and they're down 1 or 2, and he misses the layup. They're down 1.
Gosh.
They're down 1. He misses
Yes.
a wide open layup after taking 4 steps that they don't call, of course. And he misses a wide open layup, and they're down 1. They foul him. The guy makes 2 free throws, something like that, and they throw it across court, and LeBron hits this
fadeaway out of
turnaround
bounds
3 bank shot that goes in.
Yes.
And it's just so funny that
That you don't
know.
call him clutch?
Yeah. It's like it's not clutch to miss a layup for LeBron. That is just a
Brain fart?
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
a brain fart. He thought it was going in. The clutchness was the 3, man. That's
It's
when
just like saying Dame's not clutch when he misses those 2 free throws.
Exactly. It was,
Like, what
it was
are you
the exact
talking
same
about?
thing.
It's like
he's a 90% free throw shooter. He thought they were going in for sure. It wasn't a matter of clutchness. Dame's the clutchest player of all time if it comes to making shots in the playoffs.
And clutch doesn't mean you every single game you hit a game winner.
Yeah,
there's been
4 Game 7 game-winning shots made in the playoffs, and Dame has 2 of them.
Yeah. Damian's clutch. LeBron is clutch. Don't call LeBron not clutch.
LeBron's very clutch. LeBron's the best player in every aspect of the game.
Yeah.
If LeBron wants to be the best defender, he's the best defender in the league. He just doesn't. It's kind of the Jimmer aspect where if he uses all his effort on defense, he's not as good as at offense. And LeBron's obviously the best offensive player of all time too when it comes to just scoring, assisting, everything. I mean, he might be the top scorer of all time, and he's not even a score first player.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think
he's not the best scorer of all time.
I mean,
but he's the best offensive player of all time. He's so good at facilitating. He's Jordan and he's Magic.
Yeah. So you agree with Shannon Sharpe? He's GOAT.
Yeah, he's GOAT. If I had a GOAT mask, I'd wear it right now. Him and Tom Brady are the GOATs.
Hey, I'm not going to be contrary. I'm not going to be the Skip Bayless. I think he's GOAT too.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady's more GOATed than LeBron.
Yeah,
just
he's
because.
Absolute GOAT.
Yeah, it's not even close with Tom Brady. The thing about Tom Brady is like, if it's a game-winning drive, he just scores no matter what.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing about Tom Brady. It's like there's no possibility that he doesn't. He kind of had that magic that Jordan had, where it was like he was born to be that person.
Yeah.
But then he also has the 6 Super Bowls, which is like 10 championships in the NBA.
Oh yeah, it's so much harder.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
And he's 42 years old and
looking great.
Yeah, like. And he's in every single team he did it with was a different team. Every single like.
What do you mean? Like everybody changed on his team?
Yeah, no. Every championship
besides
he has.
Gronk.
Well, Gronk is on 3 of them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was only 3. Yeah. There's no comparison. I think Tiger Woods and Tom Brady are ultimate GOATs.
Yeah.
No one's close to Tiger Woods in golf.
Like LeBron and Michael are very close.
Very close.
I put LeBron first, but hey, you can't argue Michael too. So.
Yep. Well, all right, that covers our top 10 players right now. It's we're coming up on an hour, so we're probably just in this baby right now. But
you want to end it right now?
No, we can talk about just real quick anything that's on your mind.
No, I don't really have much to say, bro. I don't really have much to say. We're gonna maybe talk a little bit about like some just leisure activities we
went extra long,
but we don't really need to.
Yeah, we went extra long.
It was fun talking NBA. It's fun talking jazz. I'd love to have just like a section of only jazz maybe soon.
Yeah, let's do that.
And just kind of talk about like what we think about all the players, how we think they're gonna play in the playoffs. So maybe we do that before. I mean, what day?
They play.
Is it?
I think they play early next week, like Tuesday.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. So maybe we just wait till after game 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it after that.
Yeah, just how their first performance was, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's been fun. We'll see you next week. And
yes, we will.
We'll be doing Thursdays. We'll be dropping Thursdays, I think.
Definitely. And hopefully we can, get better at these every time. Kind of like Kyle's trying to get a little bit better at simple math. He really struggles with that.
I'm so good at math.
Nah, you suck.
I'm just slow at simple math.
Yeah, you're really slow.
No,
yeah, just kind of like
just
you're slow
kidding.
at test taking, slow, at pretty much everything.
Listen, I'm a genius, and genius takes time.
All right.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.